Welcome back, y'all. Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. We're going to be going through Joey Aguilar scrambles. It's something I've seen people talking about on social media. Can he scramble? Can he get it done? People were trying to draw the correlation between him and Nico. I don't think that he's on Nico's level, but at the same time, we will go through and we'll show you every single scramble that he had in 2024. I think we might have missed just one, but either way, you can see his stats right here. Okay, this is from ESPN. In 2024, they're saying he carried the football 59 times for 207 yards, averaging 3.5 yards per carry with 2 touchdowns. So with ESPN, what they like to do is they throw the sacks into some of their carries and all the scrambles. That's not all of his carries. There was some times when he carried the football and it was just a called play for him to carry it. But I want to look at the scrambles today. All right. So as always, y'all, please do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And also, looking at these numbers again, understanding that ESPN is going to take away some of the yards with the sacks and things like that. If you look at his numbers without the sacks and all those things, he actually had 359 yards, averaging 6.2 yards per carry. What really stood out to me is he's getting like 3.2, something like that, 3.2, 3.3 yards per carry or after contact, like yards after contact. That was his average, which is big. Like whenever you look at him, 6'3", 220 pounds. He's a guy that I think his game will translate a little bit better in running through people on this level. Just some. It's not going to happen all the time, but I think that it could happen just a little bit. So what we're going to go on ahead and do is pull up the clips here. All right. So this is the first one. You can see that it's the second and one, and we'll just take a look at how he looks. Scrambling, and I'm not going to do too much breaking down here. I just want for y'all to be able to see it. So there you can see he does a good job with his pocket presence. That's the biggest thing. And on this play, he's going to run through this linebacker. The linebacker looks like he has pretty solid size. He's not going to be as big probably as an SEC linebacker. Not definitely not going to be as fast. You can see that there, but he's able to run through him. He runs through him, almost gets that touchdown. So here, 39, does a great job with his pocket presence. That's my biggest takeaway. I think he might have got the first on this. So it's not like this on an all the time basis. It just looks like this because we're going through all of his scrambles. So whenever he does decide to run, I think that he looks good there, right? You can see he's got pretty decent speed. He's not the most mobile guy there. You see he's able to keep the team from getting the sack. He falls forward, feels the pressure coming, and everything's covered up downfield. So he's a pocket passer first. Like understand that he wants to stand inside of the pocket and throw the football down the field. He's not much of a scrambler, but he can make a few things happen. And this is, we're going to see some better looking clips as we go throughout this. And on this one, you see that the blitz is coming. Does a good job of moving away from that, keeping his eyes down the field, and he runs through that tackle there. I don't know if that was a safety or linebacker or what, but you have to love that. So here gets to the top of his drop, looks really good there, and then he's able to get to the outside. Doesn't get a whole lot of yards, but I'll take that all day long. All I want in what you're supposed to do inside of Tennessee's offense is you go through about 2 reads. If the 2 reads aren't there, you got to run. So he might have more carries in 2025 with this team because that's how our system works. So 3rd and 5 here, you can see really good job there. Again, not taking this sack. Blitz is coming, steps up into the pocket, gets to the outside, keeps his eyes down the field. So right here, what we have is it looks like up top that might be a linebacker, could be a safety, whatever. But then to his left, he's got a lineman, and he's going to pretty much find a way to be able to sneak through both of them. So he does a good job of keeping himself from taking huge shots. That's another thing. Not always, but sometimes I think he does a pretty good job with that. So seeing him here at the top of his drop, he sees everything's covered up. He's got the linebacker right there, and he's going to fall forward, go straight through him with the guy on his back. So he can do that on this level, right? I think that he could do it some on our level, but on the level that he's playing at now, obviously, man, listen, these players are not going to be as big, not nearly as fast either. Okay, that's one of the biggest things. So here you see that that's a safety that's got an angle on him, but he's able to make a miss. Okay, he shows a little bit of savviness, right? He's definitely not going to be Mike Vick or anything like that. Now here you're seeing him versus a lineman that's got an angle on him, and you're going to see how he's able to eat up ground. So this is showing some pretty good speed, right? That's pretty decent. Now again, like what you got to understand is that playing on the level that he's about to come to, which he's supposed to be on campus on Monday, our tackles are going to be as fast as some of their linebackers, and that's just straight up facts. Okay, it's totally different. So here we're seeing, I think that's a I think that's a linebacker that dropped really deep, but you see that that linebacker had a whole lot of ground on him, but he's able to run past him and make a miss, and you'll see it again from this angle. I love the way that he finishes some of his runs. You know what I'm saying? He does a good job of making you pay, especially with these secondary players right here. Boom, you can see what he does to that cornerback that wants to come up and tries to hit him high. You don't want to hit this guy high because he's 220 pounds. He's a stronger guy. He's an older guy. This is what can happen. And actually, I'm gonna show you right here the first guy that we highlighted. You see that he is on the ground. You know, he's right there. So we'll let this thing keep on rolling. You know what I mean? And obviously, that was a big time pickup for him. So this is a 3rd and 10. Things break down. If you don't spy him on in some of these situations, he can definitely eat up ground, which I think is huge. That's the main thing that you want. At least, for me personally, I want to see a guy that makes the defense have to honor the fact that hey, he can run the football. So that's going to be really big for us once we get into SEC play. And this is versus Marshall. So Marshall, I think, was his best rushing game last season. He had a lot of yards, 2nd and 20. Looks like he gets the first down with his legs, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like again, you got to maintain those pass rush lanes. You have to maintain spies. Now, like I've said several times, we'll see how much this translates to the SEC level, which is going to be the closest thing to the NFL that you're going to find, right? Where there is a ton of speed. Like the closing speed is going to be drastically different from what we're seeing here with Marshall. But there's some things that I like about his game, about his savviness, about the way that he feels that pressure because once he gets used to the speed, he'll understand how to make things happen. But it's gonna, he's coming up on Monday, right? So he's gonna have a little bit of time. Obviously, they can't really practice. He's gonna have a very limited time to get used to the speed. It might not be great to start the season off, but as we go deeper into the season, if he is the starter, I think that he's going to be a guy that can do some of these same things. It's going to take him some time to get acclimated to the difference of speed. That's the biggest thing. Well, really not even just the speed. As I've said, it's the size too. He's gonna have to get used to the size. So right here on a 4th and 3, what you're gonna see here is he's got a guy on his back. He's going through what looks like a secondary player, and the secondary player tries to go low, but he's got really good balance too. He's able to fall forward and get that first down. Now this is a 2 point conversion situation, and he does a really good job here as well. Just getting this right, like he sees that hey, things are covered up. I can use my legs. I can go through contact. It looks like he might have fumbled that football, but I think that he's going to be fine. You can see now that now you can see a little bit more speed, right? Um, and this is also dope because I think Tennessee's going to do this. This is pistol. Start off wide, bring it in tight and do a little boot action. So I think he's going to be able to do a lot of this inside of Tennessee system, which is why it's great that we started to add those types of things because it fits his game better, right? So 3rd and 12, you see him again, man. His pocket presence is really, really good. So I mean, those are my biggest takeaways with this game. Is it's just about how he looks inside of the pocket. He can feel that pressure. He shows some savviness to be able to, get out of there and get you a little something, something. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be incredible. This is a 1st and goal situation. Everything's covered up. It's going to be tough for teams to play that type of coverage versus Tennessee. And really in some of these situations, he's going to have to try to force it in there. That's one of the things that I like about Joey's game is that he's got that gunslinger to him. You need a little bit of that, especially whenever you're in that red zone, in that red area, because the windows get a lot tighter. Now, he's probably not going to do a whole lot down there because the field shrinks up. He's probably not going to do a whole lot with his legs, but just the threat that he can run. And then if he keeps his eyes down the field, somebody might come open and then he can get that football out of there. We got some young wide receivers that I think are dogs. We got some tight ends that I think are dogs that will make those catches. So right here, you see on a 3rd and 6, he's got what looks like a safety, goes straight through him. Now he stays high there. It's going to be different. It's going to be different on this level, but you're seeing that at least he's willing to get this stuff done. He's also going to be different, right? I mean, he's going to be bigger, faster, stronger too, because he's going to be in a much better situation, right? Like he's going to be eating better. He's going to have much better training and all of that. So maybe things will translate. Here, again, you're seeing him on this boot. He's able to run past some of these players. You know what I'm saying? This is versus Coastal Carolina. They've got some pretty good athletes, especially, I'd say in their secondary, pretty decent speed. It's not going to quite be what he's going to see in the SEC, but you know, um, I really do sincerely feel like he can do a few things. Would he be the most mobile quarterback inside of Tennessee's room? I don't think so. I would actually rate him as probably the least mobile. He might be the least mobile quarterback that Coach Heupel's had since he's been at Tennessee. He's probably close to like a Gaston Moore. I think that that's what his rushing skills will look like, but he's a lot bigger than Gaston is. So again, that's where things kind of come in handy. And then look at this. Like you see some of that ballerism to him, where he's got people diving at his feet, moves to his left. It's able to get that stiff arm and take out one of those linemen there. Absolutely love it. So here, this is another situation, 4th and 9, where they're dropping coverage. They're running off coverage here, and there's no one spying. If no one's spying all that space that they're leaving wide open, man. Again, I don't know how much he's going to be able to do this on the SEC level, but it's something that teams will have to look at. Teams will have to honor and have to dedicate a spot to him. However many people that you're dedicating to the quarterback, that's less that you're going to see in coverage. That's where the guys that we have out there that are really good athletes, they can win one-on-one. He's got the arm talent that he can get the football to him. So 1st and 10 here. Looks like he's able to get that first down with his legs. Absolutely love it. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely love it. Pocket is closing in, but he stays in there to that last second. That's one of the other things, and I've talked about this. I've seen, some other people saying, "Oh, well, it's great that he just stands in there." Like you're not going to always be able to just stand in there inside of Tennessee's offense. You've got to go through your reads very quickly, and you have to understand, just get what you can get. Now, this is first Georgia Southern. This is the 3rd and 4. That red line. That's the first down marker. Watch this, right? Gets into almost like a rugby scrum, and he's able to push that power forward. So he's got some dog to him. You know what I'm saying? He really does. He has some baller to him. I think that once he gets to Tennessee, it's not going to be so much about, hey, Joey, we need for you to be this just outstanding quarterback. It's going to be more about, I think, managing games and not being afraid to make some of these tougher passes. I think that one of the things that's going to really benefit Tennessee's offense is that we're not going to do what we did last season. Hopefully, we're not. Where everything is so straight up and down vertical, very difficult to operate the offense the way that we did for the past couple of years. And P and I talked about this yesterday. Like, dude, it's a miracle that we were able to win the games that we won with the way that we were playing, especially with our passing game. Now the running game helped out a whole lot, but I just think that it's kind of like a gift and a curse that we're in this situation because now what the coaching staff has to do is, they're going to have to add some extra wrinkles in there for whoever the quarterback is, right? Like you're going to have to do that. And if you don't, it's going to be tough for them to, win us ball games and all of that good stuff. So that's where I'm at with it. I would say overall, Joey Aguilar, he can use his legs. That's not really what his game is. He's more of a pocket passer. He's a pocket passer that can scramble sometimes. You can use him in some running plays and things like that. I would say he's very similar to like a bigger version of Graham Mertz. I think that Graham Mertz was 6'3", 215. He's 6'3", 220 pounds. Can he gain a little bit of weight? That might be more beneficial than maybe even him getting faster because he shows really good balance. Throughout these clips that we just looked at, right? He shows really good balance. He shows some pretty good pocket presence. That's got to take a step forward. For him, it's going to be all about once he gets up on campus tomorrow, getting with the coaches and getting the training and working the reps over and over and over again, finding consistency. The quicker that he can do that, the quicker that he can get on the same page with all the rest of his teammates. The quicker that he can earn their trust, then I would say the quicker that he's going to end up being Tennessee's starting quarterback. And I think that he is going to end up winning this job. But those are my thoughts. Please share yours with me down in the comment section. And as always, please do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you all on the next one. Thanks. Peace. Thanks for watching. And please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel because that keeps us growing inside of the YouTube algorithm. And if you did like this video, here's another one that you might also enjoy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.